Welcome back, everyone. It is Tuesday, April 8th in the NBA, and I have 4 picks locked and loaded ready for you guys in this video. If you are new, like I said, always, my name's Austin. Thanks for tuning in to the daily videos. We recap how we did yesterday. Kind of a wash, a 1-in-1 day. Our Keon Ellis under 8.5 points was our one winner. That was the VIP Dub Club exclusive play. Hopefully you're in there and winning with us. Our other pick, Kate Cunningham's under in first quarter points, in with 8. And we talked about in yesterday's video, I thought he'd only play about 6 minutes. He ended up playing 8, almost 9, and he ended up scoring his 7th and 8th points in those final 2 minutes. But either way, not a great read there. I'll live with it. 1-in-1 day. We have 10 games on. Now, on paper, that looks great. You see 10 games on, you're like, ooh, let's fire off the bets. However, so we were at the point in the season with less than a week left in the regular season. You have, number one, teams that don't care. Number two, teams that care but are resting all their guys because they don't care where they end up in the standings. Number three, you have everyone on the injury report. Number four, you got guys on back-to-backs for tomorrow. There is tons of things to dissect today. So, again, we'll have 4 plays in this video. I might add some plays as the day goes on. I'll be watching the injury report, but stay tuned. Those will be down below in the pinned comment. A reminder, if you want to get the Dub Club exclusive plays like the Keon Ellis one yesterday, you can join. There's a $10 off coupon for your first month. Makes your first month $5 a month as opposed to normally $15. You can go do that. I know a lot of you guys have used that coupon, and I see you guys in the Discord. Appreciate y'all. But let's dive into the picks today. Let's dissect the slate. And at the end of the video, maybe I'll dive into some other games that we didn't touch on, maybe some other props I'm looking at, but I might not pull the trigger right now. Let's begin with the first one. This is the guy that I have a love-hate relationship with. On one side, I love betting on him. The other side, he hates delivering for me. That's Trae Young, over 24.5 points, minus 110 on BetMGM. Yeah, no, we don't have the greatest track record on Trae. So if you're looking for a fade, this might be the one. But I really think this is a great spot to back him. And I get it. I say that time and time again. And then he comes out and shoots 6 for 19 for me. And I'm like, why do I keep doing this, Austin? You got to look in the mirror. Stop betting on Trae Young. But again, this is one of those games that actually means a lot. There's a lot of games on the slate tonight that don't really matter a ton, but this is one that does, as the Hawks are on the road in Orlando to take on the Magic. Now, this is a game where if you look at these two teams, they're nearly deadlocked in the playoff race. The Magic are the 7th seed. The Hawks are right behind them by 1 game and the 8th seed. So they're still going to be in the playing games. They're not probably going to move up above that. But end of the day, would you rather be on the road for the first play-in game or be at home? You'd argue you'd rather be at home. So these two games, these two teams are split 1-1 in the season series. They play today, and I believe they play on Sunday as well. So 2 big games on the horizon here. Whoever loses this game will try even harder in the one on Sunday because, well, they would want to go for the split. But again, let's talk about Trae Young. He has been up and down the season. We know it's not the best shooting efficiency season for him, but I really look at this matchup as a good one for him to score the basketball. You could look at his assists under, which I do like, but I think it's a better one for just points. And obviously, we'll be back on PropsMadness, our favorite research tool out there. Use code COS for 25% off your purchase. Let's dive into Trae Young. You will notice some books are at 25.5, some books are at 24.5. You can probably get 25 plus points. End of the day, I would not want to take a minus 140. Just give me a minus 114 at 25.5 if that's what I got to go with. Now, let's talk about Trae Young. Last 24 games, he's over in 13 of them. Not too shabby, but let's talk head-to-head. Head-to-head wise this season, he's had 1 great game, 1 bad game. Now, in the great game, 17 shots. Well, 1 bad game, 19 points, 17 shots. Not bad. I do want to note this was one of the final games for the All-Star break. That's typically the dog days of the NBA season. Right after the All-Star break, he comes out with a vengeance. He went out and scored 38 points, 28 field goal attempts. So big game for him. How does Trae Young score his points? We know he scores his points as a pick and roll ball handler and free throws. 2 really good matchups against this Magic defense. Where the Magic are really good at, we've talked about this, I feel like I'm beating it into your head. They're the number 1 spot up defense. They are really good at limiting catch and shoot opportunities. That's not what Trae Young scores. He scores 5% of his points there. But guys on a team like Reaves, Dyson Daniels, heck, Onyeka Okongwu doesn't get a lot of spot up, but he gets a lot of pick and roll action, and he scores a lot of his points in the restricted area. Again, 2 bad matchups for that. Instead, we should see Trae Young have to get the usage here. And as I said, 2 games against him, 17 and 28, not bad. Last year, he went out there 27. He had 41, 31, and 18 points. This game, not a lot of volume for him, but the other 2 games, great volume, 27 and 23 shots. If you look at his last 9 games against the Orlando Magic, he has pretty good games. His last 9 versus the Magic, 28.7 points per game. He's hit this over in 6 of 9, attempted 20 or more shots in 6 of 9, attempted 15 or more in 8 of 9. Look, I think he's going to have to call his number tonight. And if you want me to pull up hit rates of when he shoots, X amount of times, we can certainly do that as well. If you were to look at Trae Young, let's just look at in terms of if he's calling his own number. Let's say, for instance, get out of here. This is 2025. We just go to field goal attempts. If you're looking at field goal attempts, Trae Young, when he shoots 15 or more times, over in 62% of his last, 24 games, 18 or more, 83%, 20 or more shots, 21 of 24. So I look at this as a spot where Trae Young should be aggressive. I can't make the shots for him, but he should be aggressive. This is a big time game. The Hawks need wins on the road. I would expect him to call his number a little bit more than maybe at home where the role players might play better. Trae Young, we know he's capable of 3 points and a half and 25 in the next half. Let's hope maybe it's not like that. But again, let's hope he has a good game. And I really like his over 24 and a half points. You don't honestly want him to have a big first half because then the Magic might make adjustments at halftime. Ideal world, we get him into the halftime with like 10 to 15 points. I'd feel good. If he scores 20 something, the Hawks Magic might try a little too hard defensively. But again, I really think it's a great spot for him regardless. Joking aside, I think it's a good spot. Next play. Brook Lopez, the bang home 2 threes tonight. Over 1.5 made 3-pointers. This is plus 125. I don't know why it's plus 125. I think at worst, this should be plus 100. I really think this should be even money both ways, minus 110, give or take, minus 110 both sides. I don't know why it's here, but I'll take a chance on Brook Lopez to make 2 threes. Now, the Bucks are at home taking on the Timberwolves. The Bucks don't have a ton to play for in terms of like where they're going to move in the standings. I don't see them moving very much higher or lower, but they should still play their guys a good amount of minutes, and they're at home. You might rest your guys on the road, but at home in front of your home fans, come on. We play our guys there, but Brook Lopez has been really good this season. And I think this is a great high volume spot for Brook Lopez to just start chucking threes, which is all we're looking for. Now, we need 2. I don't care how he gets it done. If he goes 2 for 2 or 2 for 9, I don't care. We just need 2 3-pointers made from Mr. Brook Lopez. Now, you'll see you can get actually plus 124 on FanDuel. Pretty solid. Plus 120s all around the board. Not too shabby. Sharper books are at minus 101. So pretty good. If you look at when he's played without Damian Lillard, he's over in 13 of 19 games. So just in general, we're looking at a pretty solid hit rate, 13 of 19. Pretty good. We'll take that. If you were to look at this matchup head-to-head wise, he's facing the Timberwolves. On paper, the Timberwolves, one of the best spot-up defenses, and I get that. And versus them earlier this year, he only made 1 on 2 3-point attempts. You might be like, what the heck happened? Well, number one, you can notice Giannis and Damian Lillard didn't play. So there's really no threat to the hoop. And honestly, that's kind of what happened. Those guys aren't giving any threat. Rudy Gobert doesn't have to leave. However, last year, we would look at the teams. 2 on 4 and 4 on 10 3-pointers. Now, we all know, what does Rudy Gobert do on defense? He camps in the paint. He doesn't want to leave. And with a guy like Giannis, who is probable today, barreling down towards you, are we going to leave the paint? No, we're going to want to try to contest those shots when Giannis gets his full head of steam. And so I see a lot of two-man action with Giannis and Brook Lopez today, where Giannis calls Brook for a screen. Brook sets the screen. He pops to the 3-point line because Rudy's in heavy drop coverage, and Brook Lopez gets wide open 3-pointers, nonstop, left and right. And we've seen that kind of happen throughout these matchups. In fact, if you look at these games, Brook Lopez on his last 10 games against Gobert made 7 or more threes in 7 of them. So at plus 125, I think we have a shot here. At the end of the day, I think we at least, and I say at least, get 3 3-pointers up. Now, if he only gets 3, the odds of him making 2 aren't the greatest, but again, 3 or more 3-point attempts, we're looking at a hit rate around 63%. If you want to go on the season, let's just go on the season. On the season, 60% hit rate when he shoots 3 or more. So if he gets 3 or more, which I think he's certainly shooting 3 tonight, at plus 124, we already are seeing pretty solid value here. 4, looking at about 2/3 of the time. If he gets up 5 or more, 75% of the time. At home is where I would want to trust a guy like Brook Lopez. Going to shoot better at home than he would on the road. And they have plus 125. I just think that's a little bit too high for Brook Lopez. I think this should be minus 110. Very similar to how we felt about Rui Hachimura. I felt about Nikola Vucevic. I think this line is a little bit too plus 125. I don't know what the heck they're doing. I'll take a chance on him to not come down a. Did I just see Giannis is minus? Why the hell is? You know what? I'm not getting involved in that, but Why is Giannis only minus 165 to not make a three tonight? That's weird. All right, that's not the point of the video. That's not a play. Let's get to the third play of the day. Spoiler, Dub Club exclusive play. Under in points. You can check that out. It'll be linked down below. $10 off your first month. Makes it $5 a month. Go get in Dub Club exclusive play. It's an under in points today. Spoiler, under in points. Go check that out. My final play of the day, fourth and final. Well, might add some plays. Austin Reaves to record 6 or more assists. Now, I want to put a heavy note out there. This is a half unit play. If you watched Trae Young and you read the graphics and Brook Lopez, both 1 unit plays, you can see that risk 1 unit. This one is technically a 1 unit play as well. Austin Reaves, half unit play to him to record 6 assists. Now, I get it. You go in the comments, Austin. His line's 4.5. Yes, I'm well aware of that. I'm taking some value here at 6+ assists. I think there is heavy value in Austin Reaves today, and I'll talk about why. I'm only risking a half unit because you understand in my analysis that, well, it's not the greatest matchup for him to get assists, but we're trying to do a little bit of an injury report predicting, and I think we might find some good value taking an Austin Reaves prop early in the day than we will taking it later in the day, and I'll kind of highlight that right now. Now, if you look at Austin Reaves, and this is just a half unit play, let's talk first about the spread for this game. The Lakers are facing the Thunder again. We know what happened the first time. The Lakers smoked them. Today, that in that game, the spread was 9.5. Today, the spread is 14.5. Now, you could argue, well, the books would think the Thunder are going to bounce back. I don't know if that is worthy. Or, hey, Rui Hachimura is out. I don't know if that's worthy of 5 points. So to me, looking at this spread says one thing, and that is that LeBron James or Luka Doncic is not playing tonight. And heck, both of them might not play tonight. Austin Reaves, he might not even play tonight, for all I know. But when I look at that injury report and I look, they're both questionable, and I look at their schedule. They play today against the Thunder and they play tomorrow against the Mavericks. We know Luka's going to want to be amped up for that Mavs game. But again, and I get there's argument, well, hey, the Lakers got to win every single game. I get that. But at the end of the day, they're not going to unless they lose out, they're not dropping into the 8 seed to play in games. And I think they would much rather their guys be healthy going into the playoffs than trying to play a back-to-back against an OKC team that you pissed off on the next day. You know they're coming out with 100% energy. I don't know if it's worth putting Luka and LeBron out there. So I wouldn't be shocked if 1 or 2 of those guys get ruled out. Now, Austin Reaves has a chance of getting ruled out too. But if either of those 2 guys get ruled out and Austin Reaves is in, we get instant value on plus 190 for him to get 6 assists. If you look at the other lines, and I'm just using odds jam here, like I said, they've shifted a little bit. Plus 182. This is for Austin Reaves, 6+. I don't hate him for like 8+ assists. I rather just not. It's not a great matchup for assists from that standpoint. And I honestly don't think I would really play the 4.5 because I don't see a lot of value there. I think you're either take the 6+ or you don't take it. I wouldn't play this for 1 unit. I just take here. Now, there's going to be some people that are going to say, well, what if these guys get ruled out? Do we like his regular over an assist? I don't necessarily know what that line would move to, but I think we could get some great value here. And I'll kind of highlight that value if we are correct on predicting the injury report in terms of what certainly could happen. Like I said, it's not crazy to say Luka or LeBron does not play tonight. I'm not really going on a limb there, especially given they play tomorrow. But again, if you look at Reaves, let's say worst case scenario for this pick, Luka and LeBron both suit up. So both are playing. You're still looking at a guy in Reaves that's over an 8 of 18 game. Well, if you're looking at 6+ assists, not the best hit rate, 4 of 18. So not the greatest there. He's had a couple ends with 5. Technically, one of these games didn't even play. So not the best hit rate there in terms of the 6+. But let's say Luka and LeBron, maybe let's say Luka's in, but LeBron's out. Probably the more unlikely scenario. We're looking at a guy over 6+ assists and 4 or 5. Now, what happens if both of them are out? Well, you got a guy that's over in 4 or 4, including the most recent games when he had 7 and 13 when Luka was on the team. If you were to look at the one, I kind of these out of order. LeBron plays, Luka doesn't. 6+ assists, not bad. Granted, a lot of these games did come with AD. So I look at this play as just one that I think we're going to have some good CLV. If I predict the injury report wrong, I'm probably taking a half unit L. But I don't, based on that spread, I maybe call me crazy. I don't think there's a chance Luka and LeBron suit up tonight. At least both of them. Could one of them? Yes. Both, I don't think so. So I'll take this at plus 190, just a half unit play to win back almost 1 unit. Not the best matchup for assists, but I think if one of those guys is out, we know the ball's going into Reaves' hands, and he's probably going to get Lou Dort, a really good defender on him. So maybe he's kicking it out to shooters. Let's hope they're knocking down some shots for us tonight. Probably some great CLV on that one if we get lucky. Those are my picks. If you want me to dive into some other games, I can do just that right now. Again, to recap all the picks that we're riding with right now, again, we might add some plays down below in the pinned comment. Check those out. Trae Young over. Brook Lopez over 1.5 threes. We have the Dub Club exclusive, which is an under in points, and Austin Reaves, just a half unit play, so nothing crazy here, to record 6 or more assists. Now, let's talk about these other games on the slate, and then I'm going to get out of here. Appreciate you guys, as always, for tuning in. We'll start. Where should we start? Well, we'll start in Indiana. Not a lot that I'm loving here. I'm going to be honest. There's probably a negative chance I add a play in this game. If we go to Memphis, Charlotte, I looked at this game. I did. I don't know if I really want to get involved here. The Charlotte Hornets are just trash. And then the Memphis Grizzlies, we'll see if Ja plays. I don't really know. Probably not adding anything there. This is another game. You could say Josh Giddey's lines are crazy high. And if I wanted to fade, I would consider maybe a 31.5 points and assists under. I don't mind that. But Kobe White's out. I don't even know if Josh Giddey plays, if I'm being honest. The Bulls play tomorrow. I think they're kind of punting that game. This Pelicans Nets game is actually where the exclusive play is. So join the Dub Club. You can get that. This is a game I looked at. Boston versus the Celtics. Boston versus Celtics. Celtics versus the Knicks. One play that I'm looking heavily at is Jason Tatum is over in points. He has historically played pretty well against the Knicks this season. Last season had some pretty good numbers against them as well. There is injury concerns here. I feel like, from just my standpoint of knowing Tatum, I feel like he plays today. They do play tomorrow. I want to say in Orlando. I think it's the game where Tatum plays and other guys maybe don't. And then they play some other guys the next game. Tatum just feels like one of those guys that's like relishes playing in Madison Square Garden. And so I feel like he suits up. I just didn't want to take it because I don't want too many overs on the card, but I really do think he plays tonight. And under, I don't mind, is Jalen Brunson under 6.5 assists. We normally take that against the Celtics. I'm just not doing it because I'm not 100% certain who the Celtics trot out there tonight. LA OKC, we already touched on. Minnesota, Milwaukee, already touched on. This is another game I looked at, Warriors and Suns. Kind of like a D-Book fade, but he's been shooting the ball a ton. I looked at maybe back in Royce O'Neal. We know he just faded him, but spot-up shooting is a great matchup against the Warriors. So maybe take a peek at his threes. Not a bad play there at all for him to make 3 threes. I honestly kind of like that one. Almost backed it, but didn't do it. Bradley Beal finally made some shots last game, but I don't know if I really want to back Bradley Beal, if I'm being honest. Tyus Jones, he's come off a bad game. Good spot up shooting. That's how he scores his points. But again, betting on Tyus Jones this late in the season doesn't feel like something that turns green. Warrior side, Draymond Green, why did his points line go up? Kind of like his under, but he's played well against them before. I don't know. That one's just a tough one. And then you get to this late night game, Spurs Clippers. I don't think Kawhi Leonard plays here. If I had to guess, Clippers play tomorrow. And I meant to note I believe the Warriors play tomorrow as well. So again, I hope you understand why we only got 4 picks. I don't even know if I'll add any throughout the day, but maybe I'll check the injury report and see what we get closer to 4 or 5 p.m. I don't know if we add plays. If I had to put a percentage on what are the chances we add a play or not, I'd probably say 50-50. I really don't know, but we'll see. We'll see what we find out throughout the day as the injury reports will trickle in. But again, this is one of the harder times to bet the NBA. So be cautious with the units. The playoffs are right around the corner, and we'll probably have a lot more plays in the playoffs. So check that out. Either way, if you want to join the Dub Club for the exclusive play, so $10 off your first month. Coupon link down below. Let's have a good day, and let's go 4-0. Let's hope we get some good CLV on Reaves, and let's hope he can deliver with that good CLV. Either way, it's Austin. I'm signing out. See you guys in the next one. Peace.